All right, welcome everyone. Namaste. We are recording our morning yoga practice live from the beach at La Pastore in Baja. And if everyone can just mute themselves, that would be great. I'd appreciate that, just so that there's no extra background noise while we're recording here. Okay. And I know that not all of you have dōTERRA oils, but if you do, today we're going to use dōTERRA's lemongrass, and we'll talk about that. And also dōTERRA's respiratory blend called Breathe. So if you have those, please grab those. And I'm going to talk about those while you're getting settled. So we're going to start with lemongrass because we're going to clear our space, as lemongrass is known as the oil of cleansing energetically. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a drop or two of lemongrass, and remember that lemongrass is photosensitive, so you don't want to put it directly on your skin if you're in the sun. So even though it's not a full sunny day today, I am going to put this on the soles of my feet. So I'm going to rub my hands together. I'm just going to sit up nice and tall and take some deep breaths, because first and foremost, essential oils are aromatic. So we want to breathe in those cleansing benefits. And then I'm going to massage the soles of my feet. Uh-oh, looks like we lost Bonnie. I don't think she could get on. I don't know what happened to her there. Hopefully she'll come back. Okay, so as you do that, sit up nice and tall and just begin to come into your sacred space. And if you have a diffuser, you might want to put that lemongrass in your diffuser, and you can even add a drop of Breathe. We're going to be practicing some pranayama. But lemongrass is a powerful cleanser of energy. It dispels feelings of despondency, despair, and lethargy. It assists us in entering a healing mode or a cleansing state, which is our yoga practice, right? It's a practice of purification. Lemongrass teaches us to let go of old limiting beliefs and toxic energies, as well as negativity. And it teaches us to move forward without any hesitation. It asks us to commit to our healing path, where change is a regular occurrence. Lemongrass is also a powerful cleansing tool for our space, which is why I recommended diffusing it if you have a diffuser while we practice today. And it clears negative energy from our third eye chakra. So it helps us to let go of past issues and stagnant energy, and increases our ability to see situations with more clarity. It supports individuals in feeling free-flowing energetically, so we can move through our life without any energetic blocks. And lemongrass has a powerful mission to assist in cleansing, not only physically, but energetically and spiritually. So I thought that was appropriate today because I wanted to start with a pranayama practice. So we're going to do a very simple pranayama, the alternating nostril breathing. And for pranayama practices, I always like to open up my airways with dōTERRA's Breathe blend. This is their respiratory blend. And in this, it has laurel, eucalyptus, peppermint, tea tree, lemon, cardamom, Ravensara, and Ravensara, which are two Ayurvedic plants. Well, they're not Ayurvedic plants, but they're plants used in Ayurveda, I should say. So because this has lemon in it, again, I'm not going to put it on my skin because I don't want to, lemon is photosensitive. So any citrus oil, when you put it directly on your skin, you don't want to go in sunlight for up to 12 hours, okay? So we're just gonna rub this oil on our hands and we're gonna sit up nice and tall and take some deep breaths. And I love this oil because every time I breathe it in, I feel like each breath allows it to penetrate deeper and deeper into my lungs. So if you don't have Breathe and you have any of those essential oils that I had mentioned in this blend, you can use those because those all assist opening the airways and deep breathing. So allow yourself to come into your sacred space, sitting up nice and tall as you ground into our sacred earth below. And just begin to transition your natural breath to that rhythm of Ujjayi and start breathing nice and deep. Balancing the rhythm of your breath. And just seeing if you can slow it down so that we can bring our nervous system into rest and digest for our practice this morning. And if you're not going to be in the sun today, you can massage your neck and shoulders and massage your chest. Or if you are outside, you can take another drop. And when I'm using citrus oils and I know I'm going to be in the sun and I want to use them still, I'll just put them on my clothes. So you can rub them on your shirt. And I love BKS Iyengar, so I just wanted to read you a little something from his book, Light on Pranayama. And it's just a very simple thing. First, yoga deals with health and strength and mastery of the body. On the next level, it lifts the veil that we may feel from the separation from our body and mind, so that there's no separation, and this practice brings us into our whole self here. And lastly, it leads the sadhaka, you, the practitioner, spiritual practitioner, to peace and unalloyed purity. So this is a practice of creating strength and purity in the body, mind, and spirit, as well as that union. So we practiced this before, alternating nostril breathing. We're going to bring our left hand in the symbol of Gyan Mudra, or Chin Mudra, symbol of wisdom, resting the back of the wrist on the knee. And then we're going to take the right hand and we're folding the first two fingers down toward the palm so that the thumb, the ring, and the pinky fingers are extended. And this is known as Vishnu Mudra. We're going to turn the palm to face us so that the ring finger can seal off the upper part of the left nasal cavity. And then the thumb can pinch close the right, okay? And we're just going to alternate breathing through different sides by moving the fingers. So I'll lead you through the first round, and then we will proceed on our own, and we'll do 5 rounds after that first initial round, okay? So when we're breathing and alternating nostril breath, we're just going to practice sama breathing. So we're going to have, that means that we're going to have the same count on the inhalation, same count on the hold, and the same count on the exhalation. And we're just going to start off gently with a count of 4 for our practice round. But if you feel that you have a deeper lung capacity and you want to deepen the breath without straining, then you can let the number be a little bit higher. Now, when you're breathing, you don't want to sniff in the breath all in the beginning and then just hold through the count. You want to let the breath be smooth and steady through the whole count, okay? So we're going to inhale through the steadiness, and then we exhale for that steadiness as well. So there's no holding, it's really a free-flowing motion. So we're going to take that ring finger and seal off the upper part of the nasal cavity, because remember, if you touch the bottom and close the bottom, it creates a moist nose, and that's not conducive to pranayama. So we're going to seal off the left nasal cavity and sit up nice and tall, lengthening Sushumna Nadi. Exhale all the breath out through the right nostril, emptying the lungs completely. And we'll begin round one. Inhale, 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close and hold the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale right. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then relax the right hand down. That was 1 full round. If you have any questions, please unmute yourself and ask them now. Otherwise, we're going to go into 5 rounds by ourselves, okay? So whenever you're ready, right ring finger covers that left nostril. Exhale all your breath out. And begin round 1. Whenever you're done with your 5 rounds, bring that right hand in Dhyana Mudra. Sitting up nice and tall and just letting the breath return to its own rhythm as you observe the effects for just about a moment. And then when you're ready, we are going to get on our mat and we're going to come to an all fours position. And we're going to move into cat cow. So just begin to come into your rhythm of Ujjayi breath and begin to find your range of motion through the spine. Inhaling, lifting head and tailbone, and exhale to round. And then the exhale, we're going to come to a neutral position and we're going to inhale left leg, right arm, and exhale, release. And we'll inhale opposite diagonal and exhale, release. And just move 2 more times each side, just stretching from the core to the periphery, engaging Uddiyana Bandha, Mula Bandha. And feeling that stableness within. So we end and come back to all fours. And this time we're going to inhale, lift that right leg and bend your knee. You can either point or flex your foot. And we're going to take that left arm and arc that up and over and reach back for that right foot if you can. And then press into the hand and the knee and arch the spine any amount. Doesn't have to be a deep movement. Just working on our balance today and moving slow. I'm going to exhale, release that side. Inhale, extending the left leg, bend that knee, point and flex the foot a few times. And then we're going to inhale and arc that right arm up and over, reaching for that foot, and then pull that foot out of the hand and deep breathe as if you're drawing a bowstring. Keeping the gaze steady down the bridge of the nose and being mindful of your breath. And as you exhale, release. We're going to make our way into our first downward facing dog. Opening up the backs of the legs, relaxing the heels down toward the earth. If you want, you can walk out the legs, extending one heel down as the other knee bends. And feel how that moves deep in the hip. Maybe you cross that bent knee over toward the other side, get a little bit deeper into that opposite IT band and hip. Just enjoying your practice today as if the breath could cleanse from the inside out. On the bottom of your exhale, look forward between the hands, and you'll always have the option of either walking or floating the feet forward between the hands. inhale, length through the spine. And as you exhale, forward bend. Soften the knees if you need to for this first one. And just let every ounce of tension drip off the body. And as we inhale, we're going to spread our bird wings, rolling the spine up as we spread our arms on the inhale, coming all the way up to standing. Backs of the hands touch. And then exhale, draw the palms down the midline to the heart center. And we'll move gently here, turning the palms up and open like a bowl to receive. Setting your intention. And breathing into the fullness. And then we'll inhale, extend those arms out to the side, elbows against the side body. And as you exhale, bring the hands to the sacrum, fingers pointing up, drawing the elbows toward each other. And as you inhale, lengthen. And exhale, press those hips forward and just begin to arch back any amount. And as we exhale, sweep the arms forward, bend the knees back so the hands come to the ground as if to form cups. Letting the belly hang over the thighs, the head hangs heavy. And then inhale, straighten the legs, arms and spine, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step that right foot back as far as you can, press through the ball of that foot. And as we inhale, we're going to come up into a gentle crescent pose. Exhale, bring the right hand down, turn the gaze to look up toward that left arm as you move into a twist. And deep breathe here. Now we're going to pivot onto the outer edge of that right foot as that left foot turns out. Bring that right hip down to the ground as the arm moves parallel. And look over that left hand, stretching the whole right side of the body. Then maybe drop the right ear toward the right shoulder. And then as we inhale, that left arm is going to arc up and over, pivot the feet, and the hands are on either side of the foot. As you exhale, step that foot back, knees to the ground, moving into Ardha Hatasana, or Anahatasana, and melting the heart down toward the ground as you open through the arms and shoulders, really feeling that stretch, broaden the shoulder girdle. And as we inhale, come into a forearm plank, keeping those forearms parallel, extending the legs. If you need to modify, knees to the ground. Otherwise, lift those knees and try to take the crease out of the front of the hips. Lengthen through the column of the neck so as it doesn't hang toward the ground. And as we exhale, release the hips down for Bhujangasana, pointing the toes and opening like a sphinx through the upper body. Strong legs, all 10 toes anchor toward the ground. And notice if you're gripping in the glutes. Try to soften a little bit. And as you exhale, widen the elbows. Bring the hands off your yoga mat, lifting the heels of the hands up off the ground. Okay, so really stretching the fingers. And as we inhale, lead with the back of the head as you open into Cobra. I'm taking a variation here. Exhale, slowly come down. Hands underneath those elbows, tuck the toes. We're going to inhale, plank position using our core strength. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Deep Ujjayi breath here. feeling into the wholeness of the body, letting that breath scour the insides as if the breath can move into every single cell and really cleaning out on an energetic level here, breath by breath. On an in-breath, left foot steps forward between the hands. Deep breathe. And then we're going to walk that left foot out to the left. Okay? Bring that right knee down to the ground and extend the arms forward, coming onto the forearms if you can. So moving into like a lizard pose here. And we're still working, same side. Now maybe you want to try rolling out onto the outer edge of that right foot, really opening the knee and just feeling how that changes the stretch in your hip a little bit. And if you want to add a little bit more intensity, maybe you lift that back knee up off the ground. If that feels like it's too much, then relax it down toward the earth. And just move into the meditation of your breath. And as we exhale, that knee comes back to the ground, foot to the floor. We're going to make our way back to the center, bring the hand on the outside of the foot. Now that left foot is right in the midline of your yoga mat, and you're going to come up on your tippy fingers if you want, or palms down. And you're just going to let that knee roll out to the left. And maybe you can lift that back knee up off the ground. If not, keep it on the ground. And as we exhale, we're going to melt the heart and chest toward the arch of that foot, extending from the heel through the crown of the head, and get a little bit more deep into that hip. And then as we inhale, rise on up, coming back to the center, fingertips to the ground. You can either step that left foot or that right foot forward, left foot back, or jump switch. Inside. So find your balance here, really press through the sole of the foot as if it were leaning up against a wall behind you. And as you inhale, rise on up, taking crescent on the second side. Deep breathe in, deep breathe out. And then we're going to bring the left hand to the earth and turn to gaze up toward your right hand. Deep breathe into this twist. Sorry about that, you guys. Got a little phone call. Now we're going to pivot again, just like we did. So we're going to arc onto the outside of that foot as the arm reaches over, extend, and then let the left ear drop toward the left shoulder, just stretching out of the neck. And see how deep you can move that left hip toward the ground. And we'll inhale, coming back to the center. Deep breathe here, ground the hands, and exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breathe here, finding this place of ease and stillness within. And as the outer body may look still, notice all the movements going on within. We're going to inhale forward into plank, finding our length and building our strength. Remember, if you need to modify, knees to the ground. Otherwise, you're going to exhale and slowly lower in Chaturanga Dandasana. I'm teaching a class right now. Sorry. Inhale, come back later. upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Again, we're going to step that right foot forward, bring the knees down to the earth, or that back knee down to the earth. We're going to walk that right foot out to the right. So see if you can create a lot of space between the knee and your foot. And we're going to exhale, maybe just reaching the hands forward. And if you can bring the forearms to the ground, then perhaps you do that. Just explore here as you breathe, okay? And just notice the difference between one side and the other. And then we're gonna roll out into the outer edge of that right foot just to explore a little shift, a little change in the hip. And just notice what feels right for you and breathe into that without any force. Remembering that yoga is bringing a deeper sensitivity to us, a deeper awareness of what's going on within ourselves so that we can take better care of ourselves and move more gracefully with strength. And then we're going to inhale and come back up to the center. So hands on either side of the foot as we walk that right foot in toward the midline. And again, we're going to roll out onto the outer edge of the foot. So it's like that sole of the foot is pressing right up against a wall. We're going to widen our hands off our yoga mat. And as you inhale, extend that leg, perhaps if that feels right for you. Or keep it to the ground. And we're going to exhale and melt the heart toward the sole of the foot. And again, think about an arrow from the heel through the head so that the head doesn't hang toward the ground. And we're going to deep breathe. And as we inhale, we come back to the center. This time, we're going to step our left foot forward. We're going to widen our feet. So we're going to widen the feet toward the outer edges of our yoga mat. And we're going to exhale and hold on to the back of the ankles and just begin to bow in, letting the head hang heavy. And let's deep breathe into this wide leg forward bend. And we'll add the extension of our arms. So we'll interlace the fingers behind us. See if you can keep the heels of the hands together. That feels comfortable. We're just going to release those arms toward the ground as we open the chest. Lengthen the neck and the head hangs heavy. And then exhale, release the arms down toward the ground. Soften the knees. And we're going to inhale and spinal roll up one vertebra at a time. And we're going to do a cleansing kriya here. So we're going to inhale and draw the arms overhead and imagine that you're holding a big ball of negative energy that you're carrying with you. So bring in all your negative emotions, your feelings, your fears, shame, guilt, whatever traumas you're holding that you want to let go of, whatever muck you're carrying, imagine that it's like this big black smoky ball that you're holding overhead. We're going to take a deep breath in, and as we exhale, we're going to chuck that behind us with a big ha. And we're going to inhale, come up. Ha. 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 And then come up, spread yourself like a radiant star, spread your fingers with a smile, turn the corners of your lips up as if you could feel a little bit more light, a little bit more free in your body. And then we're going to exhale, hands to the waist and step the feet underneath the hips. Find your samastahiti here, turning the palms forward to feel that opening of the collarbones as you just stand in stillness for a moment. Or if you prefer, you can keep your hands on your hips and really feel that power that invokes, as if you're a superwoman or a superman. And keep that opening, keep your breath, and we're just gonna work on our balance now by shifting our weight to the right leg. Inhaling, draw the left knee into your hand, relaxing that left sit bone down toward the ground. Keep your chest nice and open as it was. And if you have a little bit more mobility, perhaps you bring the peace fingers around the big toe. Keep the shoulder blades moving toward each other. And maybe you extend the foot toward the wall in front of you if you're in your room. Or perhaps you extend the leg and deep breathe here, working on your breath. Working on your balance. And we're going to inhale, open that leg out to the left. Oops. Sometimes our balance is a little bit off, and that's okay. I love that Chinese proverb, fall down 7 times, get up 8, right? Doesn't mean anything, so we lose our balance, big deal. Deep breathe in. Maybe you relax your gaze over the right shoulder. And if you're not feeling very balanced extending the leg, maybe you just keep that knee bent, okay? And then we're gonna inhale, bring that knee back to the center, and exhale, release, stepping the feet wider apart. And then we're just gonna twist from one side and the other, softening the knees, and just shaking it out. Finding a little bit of movement and rhythm into those rigid straight lines. Okay, and then coming back to the center, stepping the feet underneath you. We're going to do the same thing second side, balancing on the left leg and inhaling the right knee up. Keeping the gaze super steady, locked on something that's not moving. And maybe go a little bit deeper, peace fingers around the big toe. Again, no force, but we're just maybe keeping the knee bent as we shine the sole of the foot toward the wall in front of you or forward, or maybe we extend that leg. Deep breathe. As you exhale, open your leg out to the left and gaze across right shoulder or left shoulder. So leg to the right, gaze to the left. And again, if you're modifying, we just bend the knee and hold on to the knee, okay? Then we're going to inhale, back to the center. Exhale, stepping the feet wider than the hips again. And we're going to sweep from one side to another. You can even turn your gaze back behind you, or you can close your eyes, whatever feels most appropriate to you. And then let that come to stillness. We're going to open the feet nice and wide. So we're going to set ourselves up for triangle, Utthita Trikonasana. Hands to the waist, so feel how those hip bones turn forward, pointing forward. Without shifting those hips, we're turning the right foot out. Inhale, extending. And as you exhale, reach out across your right arm, your right leg. And deep breathe into this deep side bend without hyperextending this right knee. So if you need to keep a little mini bend in your knee, do so. And ground down right through the base of the right big toe mound. And again, we're going to work on our balance. So think about bringing Trikonasana on its side. So as we exhale, the hand to the hip, as we look toward the floor, move into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. So we're going to lunge into the knee and walk that right hand forward And as you inhale, keep that left foot flexed as if it's leaning right up against a wall. Maybe keep the gaze toward the earth if you're not feeling very balanced. Otherwise, we extend it up toward that left thumb, which that arm is reaching up toward the sky. And deep breathe here. Now bend both knees and reach back for that left ankle. Walk the right hand out a little bit, give yourself some more ground coverage, and then begin to move into Ardha Chandra Chakrasana and see if you can move into a gentle back bend, moving the tailbone deep in the body as you arch the spine. Deep breathe here. As you exhale, make your way back into half moon. And exhale, bring the hand, that left hand down and pivot the hips so that the sacrum is parallel to the earth. And then take a deep step back into a lunge. Bring that knee to the ground, point the toes back and inhale, reach on up. Exhale, lift out of the lunge a little bit, prayer hands to the heart. And as you exhale, twist your spine. Bring the outer elbow to the knee if you can. And maybe you stay here, or maybe you tuck the toes and lift that back knee up off the ground. And deep breathe. As you exhale, ground the hands and step back, downward facing dog. Deep Ujjayi breath. Inhale forward to plank. Keep the heels extending back as the crown extends forward. Then we're just going to melt the hips toward the ground as we open the chest. Keep pressing the heels back. Deep breathe here. And as you exhale, downward facing dog. Step the right foot forward and we're going to pivot to the middle of our mat. Feet are parallel. Inhale, a length through the spine. And as you exhale, forward bend, walking those hands back, crown of the head toward the earth. If the crown of the head comes to the earth and you feel that you have the balance to move into a tripod headstand, let the feet float up as you slowly bring the legs together and deep breathe here. Again, just working on wherever it is you're at, focusing on the breath. As you exhale, if you were inverted, spread the legs, press through the heels. Then you're just going to tuck the tailbone down so that the feet can touch down gracefully. Make sure they're in balance. So if not, just adjust them. And then we're going to inhale, walk the hands forward under the shoulders. Lengthen the spine. Take the excess weight out of the back as you bring the hands to the waist. And inhale, slowly come on up. Triangle pose on the second side. Utthita Trikonasana. Turning the left foot out. Hips remain steady. Inhale, extending your arms. And as you exhale, make your way into second side. Triangle. Utthita Trikonasana. Breathing into those long lines of energy and the radiance that exudes from your core. And just imagine yourself feeling balanced here. So you bring the hand to the hip. You're going to lunge into the knee as you walk that left hand forward and make your way into half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. So we're stacking that right side of the body over the left. That right heel doesn't dip down toward the ground. It's like you're leaning against a wall here as the arm extends. And again, maybe you're lifting your gaze toward your hand. And if you're not feeling very balanced today, the gaze is toward the earth. And then if you have a little bit more range of motion, bend the knees, reach for the ankle. Walk that left hand out a little bit. Ardha Chandrasana or Ardha Chapasana. Chandra Chapasana. Deep breathe. Exhale, come back into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. And then that right hand comes down, extend through the legs as the hips move parallel to the earth. And then as you exhale, take a deep step back. Bring that back knee down to the earth. And we're going to inhale in a gentle warrior variation with the knee to the ground. Exhale, prayer hands to the heart as you twist to your left, hooking that armpit to the outside of the knee if you can get it there. And then maybe lifting that knee up off the ground as you move into a twisted side angle. Deep ujjayi. We're going to exhale, look toward the earth, ground the hands. We're going to walk the hands back over to the midline. Feet are parallel again. If your head comes to the ground quite easily, move your feet closer toward each other. This will give you a little bit more ground space. And as you exhale, we're going to bow the crown of the head toward the earth. And this time, interlacing the fingers behind us. Again, squeeze the palms together. Maybe interlace the fingers in the opposite way. So know that you'll always move toward a place of comfort first. We'll just bring balance into the fine details of our body. And then exhale. Release the hands below the shoulders as you inhale and slowly come up. We're going to turn the feet out and in and out and in as we walk them in together. And then bend your knees. Open your knees up wide. Try to keep the heels to the ground. And if you need to separate the feet, you can come more into a yogi squat rather than malasana. But if you can keep the soles of the feet together and to the floor, the soles of the feet to the floor and the arches together, like palms down on the ground, we're just going to spread the knees so that the torso can move through. And then you can either walk the hands forward as you bow forward, stretch out of your low back. And if that feels quite easy for you, then maybe you extend the armpits in front of the shins and reach the tops of the hands to the ground. As you extend those arms back and round in like a tiny little ball, maybe the forehead comes to the earth, or you can rest it on a block. Or maybe it just hangs and you're deeply breathing. And then we're going to release that as we inhale and lengthen the spine and bring the sit bones to the ground to come into Baddha Konasana. Bring the soles of the feet together. Sitting up nice and tall. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, think about almost back bending into your forward bend as you press the outer edges of your feet together and extend forward any amount. And again, maybe the forehead comes to the earth, maybe not, doesn't matter. But try not to round your back to let the head move faster toward the floor than the heart. Lead with the heart rather than your head. And as we inhale, we're going to come all the way on. Bring the hands to the outside of the knees and bring the legs together. And we're going to lay down on the yoga mat by bringing the feet to the ground, keeping the knees bent. And then we're going to spinal roll down one vertebra at a time. So make sure your feet are toward the front of your mat so that as you exhale down, the back of your head rests on your yoga mat. And then we're going to walk the feet underneath our knees and lengthen the back as you breathe into all the natural curves of your spine. And we're going to inhale and lift your hips up, keeping the thighs parallel. Open the chest, maybe walk the shoulders in toward each other. And if you have the mobility, interlacing the fingers together. Deeply breathing. And keep pressing into the feet. See if you can lift your hips up a little bit higher. Really feel the opening of the hip flexors, the quadriceps. And as we exhale, we're going to spinal roll down just to relax that energy for an action for a moment. And then we're going to take some variations and play a little bit. So if the variations aren't available to you, you can always, if you have a block at home, you can place a block right underneath your sacrum for support. Or we're going to lean to one side and bring the hands underneath so that the thumbs face each other toward the spine, supporting the sacrum here. So the elbows are right underneath their wrists. You have to lean from one side into the other to kind of get those arms down there. And then we're going to inhale and lift that right leg up. Now, see if you can move that right leg toward the floor and let the left one follow as if you were to move into a halasana pose. Then we're going to bend the right knee and you're going to try to keep the left toes toward the ground as you slowly bring that right foot toward the earth, and then the left one follows. Okay. Deep breathe in a supported bridge pose, and then we're going to inhale and lift the left leg up and do the same thing on the second side. So see if you can extend that left leg behind you overhead, and the right one may follow. And then keep the right toes to the ground as you bend the left knee and extend the left foot toward the floor as gently as you can. And then the right leg follows. Press both feet into the ground, deep breathe, lift your hips, release the hands, palms up. So back the hands down to the ground. And as you exhale, slowly come down. And then draw both knees in toward your chest, pressing the low back to the ground. And just relaxing into this length. And then bring your hands to the front of the knees. And we're going to guide our knees in a clockwise circle, rolling all the way out into the right hip. And as the knees come toward the belly, we flatten the low back to the ground. And then roll all the way out onto your left hip. And then push the knees away from you so you're tipping toward the tailbone and deepening the arch in the low back. And just move in that manner, massaging the imaginary clock on the low back. And just hitting all those points of the clock. 12, 3, 6, 9 at the left hip. And then we're going to work our way anti-clockwise 3 times. 9, 6, 3 toward the right hip, and then 12 toward the tailbone. I'm just feeling that gentle massage Our yoga practice doesn't always have to be so intense. We can balance that energy and give ourselves what we need one more time around. Be mindful of your breath the entire time. And then we're going to come into happy beat, raising the feet toward the sky and either reaching behind the knees for the ankles or the outer edges of the feet and pulling down with your hands as you press the feet up towards. And give yourself a little rock all the way onto the right side, taking the head in the same direction as if your spine were one fused bone. And then you're rolling past the center to the left. And then back again, back and forth. And then release. Bring the feet down to the ground simultaneously. And bring the hands to the low belly. Readjust your spine. Let the knees drop toward each other and just feel that natural hollowing of the belly. That's a natural Uddiyana Bandha right there. We're going to move into Shavasana as we extend the right heel toward the front corner of our mat and then the left, letting the feet roll out to the sides. Begin to let go of all muscular control and the control of your breath as you come to full stop and complete surrender. You can either keep your hands on your low belly, trying to keep the belly still, and just relax as you deep breathe. Or relax the backs of the hands on the ground as if you're about to make that snow angel in the snow or the sand. And close your eyes. I like to moisten my lips with my tongue and let the lips gently part as the tongue moves away from the roof of the mouth. And relax all your facial muscles. Becoming the pure witness to yourself, as if you could watch yourself from a third perspective. Noticing if there's any wrinkling of the face, any furrowing of the brow. And just doing a gentle body scan. And notice if you're holding on to any tension. And seeing what you can do to move that tension through, to purify yourself with your intentions, your practice. Immersing yourself deeper into the silence and stillness for a few moments. And remember, if you don't feel comfortable laying flat on your back, you can roll a blanket or place a pillow underneath your knees and bend the knees a little bit, and that will take tension off the low back. Remember, you can stay in Shavasana for as long as you want. But if you're ready to come out, we're just going to begin to move the fingers and the toes. And maybe turn the feet, hands in one direction to stretch out the ankles and the wrists. And then move in the opposite direction, wiggling fingers and toes. And then bring your legs together, stretch your arms overhead across the floor, and get nice and long as if someone were pulling on your hands and feet. You're just stretching beyond the limits without any boundary of or restrictions in the body, just energetically expanding. And then soften as we gently retract in. And we're going to bend the left knee and bring the foot to the earth. Press into that foot as you lift the hips over to the left of your mat. And we're going to roll over onto the right side in a comfortable fetal position. Just beginning to open the eyes and hug into yourself. And then we're opening the eyes, we're directing our attention inward and just noticing how the practice made us feel this morning. Every day is different. New lessons, new sensations, new creations, new challenges, new opportunities. And then we can press the left hand into the floor as we extend the left leg. As we press into that left hand, the face turns toward the ground and the right arm drags toward us as we kind of ragdoll our way onto the feet. Bring the hands to the heart and Anjali Mudra. Letting the gentle smile across your lips and let that radiate out of your being to everyone, every being that you meet today. Spreading more joy, more kindness, more of yourself, your authentic self. And thank you so much for joining me today. It's so good to see you, my friends. Namaste. I'm just going to stop the recording here.